Hi guys, and welcome back to Hilltop Farm, and welcome to another episode of From the Hen House. Now, I'm going to do an update for you on our two groups of adolescent, I can't even call them chicks anymore really, they are adolescent chickens, starting to colour up. The older ones in particular, which are, as you may remember, black Australaw, and there is a single, I think it's from memory, golden lace Wyandotte amongst them. Supposed to be a partridge Wyandotte, but I don't know, I'm going to have to do my homework. To me it looks like a golden lace, but yeah, I'm not a Wyandotte expert, but that's what it looks like to me. But anyway, it looks like it's shaping up to be a hen. We have, pretty sure there's 3 or 4 hens we're going to have out of that lot, and of course the rest are cockerels. The other group, the younger ones, we've got a real mishmash in there. We have, let me think, there's Rhode Island Reds, there's Light Sussex, there's Splash Australaw, there's Black Copper Moran, there's a Splash Moran, there's, again I think, Golden Lace Wyandotte, there's Red, what's it called? A blue laced red Wyandotte. We think there's silver laced Wyandotte in there too, but we never got any silver eggs, and none of the breeders that we purchased from, to my knowledge, had silvers. So whether there's something in the genetics whereby you can get silvers from other Wyandottes if they carry the silver colour, I'm not sure how it works. I don't know what's dominant and what's recessive. So yeah, I can't tell you, to be honest, without doing more research. But anyway, we seem to have those in there. The other possibility, of course, is that they're something to do with the Black Copper Moran. We're not used to, I mean, we've never had them, certainly not young. Because when I say there's like silver laced Wyandotte, they're not perfectly white and black like silver lace Wyandotte are. They're slightly buff, but it's not enough to be a golden laced. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and look, maybe the colour, maybe it will change as they get older. So anyway, but the point is, we've got a real hodgepodge in that second, that younger lot. And we do have majority hens, it would appear, in that group, which is really pleasing. Now, something else that we did try, I know those of you who have been watching the Across the Duck Pond series will know that we tried something different with our duck eggs, because we were having a real problem with our hatch rate. And so we tried a different method in the incubation of those eggs. And to be honest, we can't actually gauge the results because we had such terrible results fertility-wise, that it's hard to sort of then see how that flowed on, from a hatch rate. Because hatch rate, obviously, most have probably realised, got nothing to do with the fertility. So anyway, from the duck egg point of view, I'm still not prepared to say that our new method is better. I think it is, but at the moment we've got to get the fertility up in the ducks before I'm prepared to commit. But what is interesting, and I never actually said anything, well, I'm pretty sure I didn't, the last lot of chicken eggs we got, I remember I did mention had a name of Barred Rock. And I was going to do candling of them and ended up not filming it because although I could see what was going on, it was obvious. There was no way it was going to show up on camera. So I didn't bother with that. But with these particular, what I didn't mention was with these particular clutch of eggs, I tried the new method. Obviously I adapted it because you treat, well I believe you treat duck eggs and chicken eggs different sorts of birds. But I'll tell you briefly what I've done and what our results were. And because it did seem to be successful, I will do it again, well, probably in a month or two's time, but this time I'll document it. I'll bring you along and document it and show you exactly what we did and how we did it and so forth. One thing we've always had a problem with here is our hatch rates. We don't have a lot of luck with fertility actually when we buy from other people. Some of our suppliers are great, you know. But because we don't deal with just, you know, one or two breeds, we have a mixed heritage flock, and we have one or two laying hens of all different breeds because we just love seeing them all together. And so to replace them, we're constantly having, as they get older and you replace them, we're constantly having different lots of eggs from different people because we're dealing with all different breeds. And some of the fertility, quite frankly, is atrocious. So, and some is really good. Now the Barred Rock eggs that we got, we had great fertility with. So obviously it's the first time we've used this guy. So obviously we will be going back there next time we need Barred Rock. But in the past, what we've done is we've had one incubator with a turner, and I put the eggs in. They go in the turner, and the incubator is in another room of the house. It's not a room that we go in every day. And we roughly every 2 to 3 days will suddenly say, oh, better check the water level in the incubator. And sometimes it's been empty. And because you don't know how long it's been empty, you know. So that side of it is our fault. I accept that. But I also look at those turners, and I mean, you've got your egg, and your egg goes from there to there to there. It's not really turning it, if you know what I mean. So what I thought no, because it's out of sight, out of mind. No, I'm not going to do that. So we put it in a different incubator without a turner, and we've had it in the living room where I can see it every day. It's, you know, it's right in front of me as I'm sitting having my morning coffee. It's right in front of me. before I go to bed when I'm watching TV, it's right in front of me. So I know what the humidity is. And what I've done is I've had a tray inside there with sawdust in it. I've marked the eggs with an X on one side and an O on the other. And 3 times a day, I've taken those trays, or the tray, out of the incubator. I've turned all the eggs manually and put it back. Okay. And I've been vigilant in making sure that humidity did not go above a certain level or below a certain level. And at the appropriate moment for a lockdown, they had their last turn, the water, the humidity, I vamped up. I couldn't get it as high as I thought I was supposed to. I tried, but I could only just get it up so high, and I thought, well, we'll see what happens. I just can't get it any higher. Now, bear in mind, we had 13 eggs from this guy. Obviously, we bought a dozen, and the day we picked them up, and he was, showing us the adults. They just laid an egg, so he handed that one to us as well. But anyway, we had 10 of the 13 were fertile, which, believe me, is great compared to what we have had in the past. So we were thrilled with that. Now, the old method we adopted with the turner and all that, if you'd have had 10 chicks go into, 10 fertile eggs get to lockdown point and put them into lockdown, if you did really well, you'd have 5 or 6 hatch. But it's probably more likely going to be 4 to 5. We had, case in point, the blue laced red wine dope that we've got out there. We've only got the one. There were 9 of the eggs from that dozen that were fertile, and we had 1 hatch. Now that was particularly bad result, but that's the kind of thing I mean. Anyway, so we had, with this whole new method, 10 fertile barred rock eggs, and I looked after them better than another chicken, believe me. And I want to show you this. Have a look. We have 10 baby barred rock chickens. Now, these were hatched overnight last night. We noticed one had picked sort of lunchtime yesterday, and when we came in from doing our chores last night, one had hatched, and I think a couple more had hatched by the time we went to bed. But when we got up this morning, we had this lot. And couldn't be more thrilled. Just couldn't be more thrilled. And in case you're wondering, this thing they're in, I think I may have told you, we bought this incubator on eBay, and it's hopeless. It doesn't maintain the right temperature. The alarm goes off every 2 seconds. So we've set it, I think I've set it to about 35.5, 36 Celsius, which is slightly less than it should be. for incubating, and we call it the dryer. And so when they come out of the egg and runs to gooey and what have you, they go in here. And I mean, depending on how long the whole clutch take to hatch, we'll leave them in here up to 2 days before we have to worry about feeding and watering them. But as I say, this lot will be alright till later on in the day. Make sure they're all warm and walking and doing all they should, and then we'll pop them into a brooder probably this afternoon. But that's the news from the incubator and the brooder situation. And as I say, in a month or two's time I'll get another dozen chicken eggs, and we'll actually document it and show you firsthand what it is we've done differently, because it's made a massive difference, and we couldn't be more delighted. So without further ado, I shall show you the outdoor adolescent birds. Do bear with us because it's pouring with rain today, so they probably won't be out and about, but anyway, this is them. So they're going to make quite a colourful flock. Okay, well that's enough for this week from the hen house. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any videos, and hit the bell next to the subscribe button, and that way you'll get notified every time we release a video. Give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and share us on social media. And until next time, it's goodbye from Hilltop Farm. See ya!